By the way, the reason we got this a do-over on this flight, first one, I had put in a custom Paris airport, and guess what? The airport didn't load one of the sections, so the runway as I came down had a ditch in it, like a 6 foot ditch, and so that did not end well. So we're starting over. We're going to refly from Heathrow to Paris, and I'm putting my navs on my IRS, having them align, and that means we're about 7 minutes from alignment. Arm emergency lights. We want our beacon on. I like my wing light on when I'm in the stand. And we're going to go ahead and fire up the APU. APU bleed on. APU on. My stands do not work properly, and I've got to fix that. Got to figure it out. Actually, I don't have one for this flight, but okay. I just had a flight take off from 9 right. They may be changing. I may ask or request a different runway for takeoff. See right there where they're coming in on. Oh, they're coming in. That's 9 right. Okay. All right. I thought we might be fine. Let's get our McDo. We're going to initialize, request our flight plan. And align IRS. We're 7 minutes here from alignment. Our departure runway is not right. Modma. And our performance, we can go ahead and actually enter it. Not right. Will be 444447. With a flap setting of 1 at up 0.1. And a temp, flex temp is 5.6. Okay. Okay. We're flying for Delta today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight going to Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible to allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first on either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under the seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. We'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Brian, you're in charge of all comms on this flight.
Understood, Steve. I'll handle the comms from here.
No, I'm thinking Heathrow is not a custom airport. I think this is straight out of Xplane, the latest update.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Romeo. London Heathrow Airport. Information Romeo. 1220 Zulu. Wind 160 at 3. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. No cloud detected. Temperature
Wow.
8. 2.12. QNH 1022. Arriving runway 9er left. Departing runway 9er right. Transition level 70. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Romeo.
We have information Romeo, Brian, so go ahead and get our IFR clearance.
Wind 160 at 3. Visibility 10.
Copy that, Steve. I'll get our IFR clearance.
Conditions. No cloud detected. Temp.
Heathrow clearance, Delta 7673. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance with Romeo.
Clearance on request. Stand by. Delta 7673. Heathrow clearance. Information Romeo is current. Cleared to de Gaulle by the modem 1 Juliet departure runway 9 array. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 125.625 squawk 1444.
Heathrow clearance, Delta 7673. Cleared to de Gaulle via the modem 1 Juliet departure runway 9 right. Climb to 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.625. Squawk 1444.
Delta 7673. Read back correct. Contact ground on 121.705 when ready.
Switching to ground on 121.705 when ready. Delta 7673.
Brian, you can go ahead and get our pushback and start clearance.
Ground to cockpit.
I'll contact
Please
ground
show
for
me
pushback
where you want to
clearance.
go.
Heathrow ground, Delta 7673, requesting pushback and start clearance. With information, Romeo.
Delta 7673. Pushback and start approved. Face down.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Some doors are still open for the GPU or the ASU are still connected. I'm waiting for all of them closed and disconnected, then I will proceed.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta. Delta. Delta.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority, and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane. 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-in baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exit, and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
All right, ground spoiler activated. Flaps 1.
Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen.
Brakes max. Auto brake max.
Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't
Initial
inflate.
altitude set.
Adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case.
And performance
set.
set.
Compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist. Attach it to the buckle in front. And adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder
Taxi lights.
activated light is attached to each
Landing
vest.
lights on.
For children under 35 pounds,
Runway light on.
around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your
Strobe
safety
light
card for more information.
on, and master switch for APU off.
Distribute these vests if necessary.
Seatbelt light signs on.
Take off, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest.
Econo flow on.
Be sure you fastened your seatbelt low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard.
Brian,
in front
would
of
you please get our takeoff
Suite
clearance?
door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening
I'll get our
instructions
takeoff
in
clearance.
case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Brian, takeoff clearance. Excuse me. I cancel what I said. Please get our taxi clearance.
I'll get our taxi clearance to runway 9 or right.
Heathrow Ground, Delta 7673, requesting taxi clearance to runway 9 or right with Yankee.
Delta 7673. Taxi to runway 9 right via Charlie Alpha, November 8
Runway 9 right, Charlie Alpha, November 8, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673. We have a special request. If we could change our IFR flight plan, we would like to take off from runway 9 left.
I'll have your clearance in just a second. Delta 7673, information Quebec is current. Cleared to de Gaulle via the modem 1 kilo departure, departure runway 9 left. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 125.625, squawk 1444.
Heathrow ground, Delta 7673, cleared to de Gaulle via the modem 1 kilo departure, runway 9 left. Climb to 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.625, squawk 1444.
Delta 7673, read back correct.
The reason I did that was that it's obvious between say Intentions and the airport. There's something's not right because the primary departure runway is 9 left.
Speedbird 1468, pushback and engines not approved. Face down.
Right, let's run through our quick checklist. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and set the chronos. We have ground spoilers armed. We have flaps to 1. We have auto brakes to max. We're testing our config. And config checks normal. Brian, would you please get our takeoff clearance? We're holding short runway 9 left.
I'll get our takeoff clearance.
Heathrow Tower, Delta 7673, holding short of runway 9 left, ready to depart. runway 9 right, cleared for takeoff. Delta 7673.
All right, runway lined up. Flex toga. Forward pressure on yoke. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. (1,000 feet), autopilot engaged.
Delta 7673, contact departure on 125.625.
Switching to departure on 1.
Flaps retracted.
Delta 7673.
Thrust to speed.
Heathrow radar, Delta 7673, afternoon. We're climbing past 1,000.
Delta 7673, Heathrow radar, identified climb flight level 090.
Climbing flight level 090, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, climb flight level 200.
Climbing flight level 200,
Ladies and
Delta
gentlemen, as we climb to our
7673.
increasing altitude, I'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution in opening the overhead units to prevent injury from articles setting up ships during takeoff. Now reach an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eat items and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first
Our
class
flight path.
and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eat items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, HC is equipped with your own personal entertainment system on it. You have a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
Delta 7673, climb flight level 240. Climbing to flight level 240, Delta 7673.
I have some restrictions here, and my flight plan has them, and I'm letting it manage this climb, but we're authorized up to 240, but we're going to follow what our restrictions say, our airspace restrictions. Cabin pressure, not, excuse me, altimeter to standard. Ground spoiler is disarmed. Just monitor this climb. And
Delta 7673, climb flight level 250.
landing lights off.
Level 250, Delta 7673.
Strobe to auto. Two 250. Is that just me? I've got a lot of shininess below. We're only 170 miles from Charles de Gaulle. We're crossing the little bit of the small pond now. Let's review our ECAMs. Any messages that we have? Anything? We did have a message earlier. Nothing there to recall. Ignition. I missed ignition. Looking good. Our electrical, hydraulics, fuel. We're great on fuel. This is a very short flight. APU is off. Flow's good. Doors secure. Wheels. Okay. Altitude is 210. Climbing to 250.
Delta 7673, contact London Control on 127.83.
Contacting London Control on 127.83, Delta 7673.
I don't know if that makes sense earlier, but when we had an earlier flight from Heathrow to Paris, I had a custom runway loaded, but it wasn't loaded correctly. It had a ditch in the runway, and so, I mean, literally to the point we wiped out on landing, had a great landing, and then wiped out on the landing. So but we're redoing this. I'm grateful for flight sims because you can't do that on a real plane. What I could have done better on that one is, if I would have been prepared, I could have did go around instead of trying to force it, and probably it would have saved the flight, and I could have actually used an alternate runway. Right. And now we're going to put our performance info in for our landing.
Delta 7673, London Control. Expect the Beaver 9er Whiskey arrival. Prepare to descend in roughly 5 minutes.
Okay.
Expecting the Beaver 9 Whiskey arrival.
Nod left.
Descend in about 5 minutes. Delta 7673.
Brake mode is medium. QNH is 3012, which is $10.20. Temp is 30. Winds are 100 at 9. And our decision height is wow, good margin. And we're going to put 4,000 in our altitude, and we're managing our way down. I already see that's got it for us. Man, it's a clear sky. I have a pretty straight in approach, I think, for this. So here we are. Here we are. I have my sunglasses on right now, and it really makes my dash dark. This is the Toliss. I can fix that. I can put it right here. That's just too dark.
Delta 7673, Paris Control, clear B9er Whiskey arrival into the goal. When you're ready to begin your descend. Flight level 110. Cleared B9er Whiskey arrival into de Gaulle. Descend flight level 110 when ready. Delta 7673.
Brian, we're ready to descend.
Starting our descent to flight level 110.
Delta 7673, starting our descent to flight level 110.
Attention, this is clear the cab for arrival.
Delta 7673, descend flight level 110.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat top in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. Kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
I don't know if it's 15 to 20 minutes, but it's not going to be long. on a flight this short, I never turn the seatbelt sign off. It stays on. I'm not sure why the dash in this model is so dark. So I'm not sure. Take my glasses back off.
Delta 7673. Contact de Gaulle approach on 119.85. Switching to de Gaulle approach on 119.85. Delta 7673. De Gaulle approach, Delta 7673 afternoon, descending through flight level 160 to flight level 090.
Delta 7673, de Gaulle approach identified. Bon après-midi. Expect the ILS runway 9 left approach into de Gaulle.
Expecting the ILS runway 9 left approach into de Gaulle, Delta 7673.
Got it. 9 left. Our performance information's already loaded. We are 49 miles outside of de Gaulle, Paris. And this is like a busy place. Alright, let's go ahead and do our checklist. Auto brakes are set. Ground spoilers are armed. We're monitoring our speed right now, but we're still on descent. We're good. We're about to go to vectors here.
7673, descend flight level 050, turn right heading 145 vectors for the ILS runway 90 left approach.
Descend flight level 050.
145.
145 for vectors ILS runway 9 left approach. Delta 7673.
And performance. It already has this. I did not have to adjust it or put it in performance phase or approach phase. It already did it. I remember always having to activate that. I'm not sure why. It just did it. That's fine. I just don't know. Millie there. Toliss A21Neo Airbus and my McDo. Will my performance in my performance section, will it automatically switch to approach phase without me having to activate it? Well, that's just what I did. I set it up earlier and in the McDo. So I followed the checklist, set up the McDo, and but usually, maybe I'm always activating it too early. Usually it's around 30 miles out, but here it's well, we're just now at 32 miles out, but it activated 10 miles back.
Delta 7673, proceed direct India Golf 09er Lima. Descend altitude 4000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 9er left approach.
Proceeding direct IG 09er left. Descend to 4000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 9er left approach. Delta 7673.
All right, we're Going to flaps 1. I don't really need you anymore. There we go. I have activated my approach, and we're descending to 4,000. We're about 17 miles outside of de Gaulle right now. We're at flaps 1, down to about 230 knots.
Delta 7673, contact de Gaulle Tower on 118.655.
Switching to de Gaulle Tower on 118.655. Tower, Delta 7673, afternoon. We're established on the ILS for runway. 9er left approach.
Delta 7673, the Gold Tower. Roger, continue approach runway 9er left. Delta 7673, the Gold Tower, winds 100 at 7, runway 9 left, cleared to land, caution bird activity.
Runway 9 left, cleared to land, Delta 7673.
We're at full flaps now, and I had to make up some descent time. That wasn't really the best way to do it, but I think we're okay now. We're at VREF of 146, full flaps. And we got company coming behind us too. Welcome.
400 above.
Continue.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Retard, retard, 5, retard, retard.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened.
Delta 7673, welcome to the Gold, contact ground on 121.61.
This will be your one and
Ground on
only indication that it's safe
121.61,
for you to get up and
Delta
move about
7673.
the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted.
Gall ground, Delta 7673, good afternoon. We're clear of runway 9 left and ready to taxi to the gate.
Devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit delta.com for all your future travel
Delta
needs.
7673, the Gold Ground. Taxi to E40 via Zulu 5, Kilo 6, cross runway 27 left, then Quebec 2, Quebec Bravo 4, Bravo, Foxtrot, Romeo, Tango, Echo 3, Papa 3. Good day.
40 via Zulu 5, Kilo 6, cross 27 left, Quebec 2, Quebec Bravo 4, Bravo, Foxtrot, Romeo, Tango Echo 3, Papa 3,
We've enjoyed
Delta
having you on board,
7673.
and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Flight attendants, prepare doors for arrival, please. Cross-check and all call.
Brake, brake. Chalks. Power. Right, I haven't turned lights out yet, and I think we're ready for a replay.
Delta 7673, winds 100 at 7, runway 9 left, clear to land.
Runway 9 left, clear to land. Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, the Gold Tower, winds 100 at 7, runway 9 left, clear to land. Caution bird activity.
Runway 9 left, clear to land. Delta 7673.
So this is a great shot of the full flaps, and then the flaps engaging. All right. Okay, that was a great flight. Short, and it's probably one I'm going to be taking a lot back and forth between Paris and Heathrow over the small pond. We'll see you on the next flight.